my name's Peter Dyer, and I'll walk you through making a percussive 808-ish bass sound on a Prophet-6. The same sound is also doable on practically every other sequential synth, like the Pro 3, Rev 2, OB6, and Prophet-X.
Okay, it's a single oscillator with a triangle wave, a pitch envelope, a percussive transient, and some drive or saturation to help it punch through a mix. Start with a basic patch on your Prophet-6, hold preset and press right to initialize a patch. This gives you a simple sound with a saw wave on oscillator 1 and an open filter. Change the wave shape of oscillator 1 to a triangle. We won't be using oscillator 2 for this because we don't want any beating to occur between the oscillators. That can phase cancel out your bass frequencies unless your synth has a wave reset option like the Pro 3. Similarly, I'll set it to monophonic with no unison voices so it's clear. Hold unison and press the bank select button until you see 1 for one voice. Set key mode to last retrig by holding key mode and pressing the tens button until you see LAR. This keeps it punchy by retriggering the envelopes each time you press a key. Turn the frequency of oscillator 1 down to C1, so we're in the bass range. Set your amp envelope amount to max. I'm going to leave velocity sensitivity off. Set attack to 0, set the amp decay to about 10 o'clock, and sustain to 2 o'clock. This gives a small volume transient each time you trigger the envelopes. Set the release to 2 o'clock for a longer tail. The Prophet-6 doesn't have an extra aux envelope like your Rev 2 or Prophet-X. We can get around this by using Polymod to turn the filter envelope into a pitch envelope. Enable Freq 1 in the Polymod section and turn filter env all the way positive. Now the shape of the filter envelope will be adding to the frequency of oscillator 1. Most percussive sounds have a short pitch jump on the initial hit, like when you hit the head of a snare or a tom. The pitch jumps slightly on the hit before settling at its sustained pitch. So we can match that with the shape of our filter now pitch envelope. Set attack to 0, decay to 9 o'clock for a short pitch transient. Sustain to 0 so it returns to its bass pitch after that. And set the filter release to 12 o'clock to avoid problems later. Okay, now we need to add a noise and filter transient to the sound, like a beater hitting a drum. This helps the attack stick out even more. Our filter's been completely open until now. Even though we've hijacked the filter envelope for pitch modulation, we can still use the same shape of that envelope to open and close the filter for our sound. Set the low pass cutoff knob to 10 o'clock, res to 0, and set envelope amount to 2 o'clock. Now the filter is opening just a little at the onset and then closing right after that. Now dial up noise in the mixer to 10 o'clock. It'd ring out as constant noise if the filter was open, but with only a short filter decay and no sustain, then we don't hear it after the initial transient. Now dial up the distortion to taste for extra punch, and we're there. This is a basic percussive bass sound, but you can go nuts and get all sorts of different tones now by using the same pitch envelope principle. Adding a short pitch envelope to any sound can add punch. Here's a synth lead with a pitch envelope transient to help it poke out. Here's a similar pitch envelope added to an otherwise simple organ sound to help it have an attack. Same situation here with just a little pitch envelope added to an otherwise plain saw patch to help give it some attack.
Make this patch at home, add your own tweaks, and tag me in Sequential on Instagram so we can check it out. Thanks for watching.